So we going to get right into it because we already running the clock.
Okay.
And so we throwing you in the fire before you can get your feet together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All good.
But I'm going to do my little intro because, you know, this is verbal cardio. And what's up, good people? It's time for another session of that verbal cardio, man. I got my co-host, Water. You know what I'm saying? Water is the best co-host of all time. And it should be everybody's co-host. Because without water, none of us are here. I say this every week. I say this all the time. Without water, there are no podcasts. There are no meetings. There are no relationships. There are no get-togethers. There's no game nights. There's no church service. There's no arguments. There's no celebration dinners, no birthday celebrations, no baby showers, no bridal showers, no divorces, no depression. None of that. None of it. You wouldn't be here. This would just be a rock. It would just be in the solar system going around the sun. There would be no documentaries on it. There'll be no Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about the universe. Your favorite aunt? Nah, she's out of here. Nothing. The grandmother, your grandmother that you love so dearly. Oh, my grandmother, I love her so. She wouldn't even exist without this. Water, man, drink it. Drink it up. You need it. You don't need the coffee that you swear up and down you need. You don't need it. This is what you need. Coffee is addiction. Pure drugs out here on the streets. Y'all are just in line. Zombies. Hooked. I see y'all at the airports. Line be around the corner for that coffee on them early flights. Man, I need it. This is what you need right here. Let me, ooh. Oh. And when I drink water, I just let it just run down. I don't even wipe. Because whatever happens to the water, it's just going to be what it is. It's going to reabsorb into my skin. It's going to get on my clothes, no stains. That's the beauty of this. You can't lose. If you get coffee on your outfit, you're done. You're done. Shout out to my producer extraordinaire, Sabrina Sith.
You're
behind the scenes, but always present.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Sabrina?
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people be like, yo, what does Sabrina look like?
Oh, man, y'all.
That's hilarious.
In the patrons?
Nah, I'm talking about in
the YouTube comments?
In the YouTube comments. It's mad funny.
You know what's funny? Is that we always got to remember YouTube is a different community.
It's a completely different world.
So they, I just assume, oh, you know me on Instagram if you're here. Like, nah, they don't even go over there.
Yeah, and I kind of like that. Everybody who doesn't know me on YouTube, keep it that way.
It's a different world.
Even though I commented on one of those comments, somebody was like, what does Sabrina look like? And I commented from my YouTube page. Yeah. No one knows.
Right. And then the YouTube pictures are so small.
Right.
The little profile pic. You can get a glimpse of you in a hat.
Yeah.
That's not really capturing the full essence.
But that makes them have to go to my YouTube and watch my video.
Oh, exactly. Just go to your YouTube.
That's genius. Oh, you want to see what I look like?
Boom.
Link it up.
Boom.
Tania Estrada is here with us today. Comedian, actress. What else do you do? You got several hats.
I play guitar. I'm a musician.
You play the guitar?
I play guitar.
How long you been doing this?
I think since I was 12.
What?
So, yeah, I play guitar. And I don't play like guitar like Neil Diamond guitar. I play like Metallica guitar.
Really? The
hard
coming
electric.
in.
Yeah. Like
where you sweaty and just your hair just be all over here.
Like if you close your eyes, you're like, that dude has balls playing guitar like that.
Oh.
And you're like, oh shit, it's a girl.
Right.
It's me.
Yo.
Hey.
Are there any hard rock guitarists female in the game that are legendary?
Oh, no.
No.
I was just thinking of the band Kitty because they're all women.
Oh, Kitty was dope.
Kitty was.
They're not together no more?
They're not together.
Nah,
when were they hot?
It's crazy because they're from like the 90s, and I remember like I was obsessed with Kitty. I was obsessed. I was like, this is so cool. Like I was like a young like whippersnapper. That was just like, yo, these girls are so badass. And then a few years ago, I found out they're only a year older than me.
Oh, this is this group you were telling me about.
Yeah. They actually popped up on my Spotify Wrapped as one of my most listened to bands. But yeah, they were pretty badass. But as far as women guitarists, there was that one girl that worked for Michael Jackson and now Beyonce.
Orianthi.
Oh.
Is that her name?
Although, and she like played for Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Orianthi.
Oh, okay.
And she was
Yeah.
with Richie Sambora.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Ooh, yeah, she got a resume.
She
Like
got a nice
long-
little resume.
Yeah,
That's a
she
good
does.
resume right there. Okay.
Right? Yeah, getting pumps in with Richie Sambora.
Yeah.
Get the pumps in.
I used to always like seeing women in like the band, just like playing instruments and like, you know, I remember that group, the Jets.
Yeah, the Jit,
And,
the
yeah.
Jits.
and they there was like a family
They
band.
were Samoan.
Yeah. And they had like the girls were just playing guitar and they had the girl on the keyboard. And I was like, man, I had a huge crush on the girl on the keyboard because I had never seen, the instruments. And I was just like, because, you know, you grow up like women be singing.
And they were on the guitar,
Yeah.
right? It was like a guitar with keys.
And they were
then
singing, I know you sound.
They all had the booze.
Yeah.
The fro hawks,
Yeah.
right?
I
We
feel
was
like-
all in.
We also have to mention Sister Rosetta Tharpe
Rosetta Tharpe,
and
Taking it back.
Wanda Jackson.
Wanda
Because
Jackson.
those two are the most classic, old
Right.
school. They were like, led the whole women playing guitar, rock and roll.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, I
Yeah.
can let you in on a little secret
Uh-oh.
on why girl bands never make it. You notice that? There ain't
Yeah.
no girl bands that ever say Fleetwood Mac gone,
right.
Go
yeah.
Go's gone, right?
Yeah.
Kitty gone.
But Fleetwood Mac.
The
shout out to
Bangles.
Well,
The Bangles didn't
gone,
last.
Gone. You
What
know,
was that other one? The Pretender? Not the Pretender. What's it? Who's the?
oh God, Bananarama, right? There was
Bananarama.
Bananarama. There was
Who was Joan Jett with?
the Blackhearts.
The Blackhearts.
The Blackhearts.
Was it the what were the name? The Bomb, the Cherry Bomb, not the
Cherry
Cherry
Bomb.
Bombs.
Who
Yeah.
did that?
It was
Go. Shoot.
what was the name of the girl
Blonde-
band?
Patron
Blondie?
Saints. Who did Cherry Bomb?
And Lita Ford was on the Runaways.
The Runaways.
Runaways.
That's what I was
Yes.
thinking about.
I
I was
That's
like,
what
I
was
knew
thinking
they
about.
was little badass baby girl
Yeah.
kids, the Runaways.
What's the secret? Why they can't last?
The reason why girl bands don't last is because eventually we all sync up on our period at the same time,
this
and
is-
it's just murder.
this
you know
is
what I
what
mean?
it
Month
is.
after month after it just the tension just
I didn't
keeps
expect that.
growing.
I
The
didn't see this
emotion.
coming. I thought she was gonna give us the real.
That
You
is
was-
the real.
That's the real.
That's the real.
It
I'm
all
telling
comes
you
down to
from
that.
Experience.
Dang it.
Yes, I came from that world. I did an all girl band,
Mm.
and that's exactly what it is. You know, we all and it becomes a competition thing because girls, you know what I mean, young girls, they're not mature. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
don't know what it's like to really be friends or have the business and separate that part. You just
Right.
hate on each other. You know what I mean?
Dang.
Like, dang, she looked really good in them garter belts, and my thigh highs just rolling down. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. You start comparing just stuff between each other. You just get real petty, and
Yeah.
and then you end up one girl buddies up with the other girl, and then this girl
Clicking
feels
up
left
within the
out.
group.
Yeah, it's all bad. And then you know what I mean. And then let everybody be on their period at the same time. It's just like,
Do periods really sync up?
Yeah.
They do.
They
Why
do.
is that?
it's just a
We're
thing.
wolves.
Like it's just like it's like we share the same air after a while, and it's like we catch this rhythm together as girls. Like
Yeah.
It's the moon's
guaranteed,
fault.
if I start seeing her like often,
Yeah.
we will end up getting on the same period cycle.
That's
Just
crazy.
like that.
Yeah, the other day, I don't know if she wants me to say. I'm gonna say her name anyway. Zuli. I was like, man, I just got my period. She's like, me too. And we've been seeing each other like.
I noticed that she
lot we
posted
talk.
another period post on the TikTok. And I remember you saying yours started. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, we out here.
Synced up.
did it sync up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's normalize. Let's throw this in there. Normalize not being grossed out by periods,
Yeah,
fellas.
absolutely. Because that's
Enough.
you
Oh,
should
I
be.
like
You should
that.
celebrate periods because it's like, hey, you didn't get her pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
Period is like, how many of you
Unless you wanna
fellas
get her pregnant.
have been relieved by, I got my period?
Yeah. You know how many times I've hit Tony with the I got my period.
Yeah. Like, ooh, all right.
We did it.
Okay.
Especially after the surgery.
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
like,
it
'cause we
works.
didn't know
Yeah.
if it worked or not. I got a vasectomy.
Oh,
in case
yeah.
I got
Yeah,
the balls
I remember
clipped. And
I
so it was like, this is work.
Yeah.
And, you got to put it, because I never got a
Field
chance
test.
to properly,
Yeah, check.
I was supposed to go back in and they test to make sure, it was successful. But I never got a chance to go. And so we just did it the old-fashioned way. It's
Yeah.
like, you pregnant?
Yeah.
Because I unloaded in there. Did it go
Right.
through?
He shot the club up
Yeah.
multiple times,
Came
and we
in.
out here still.
Came in dumping, You play the guitar.
That's
First of all, stand-up comedian, that's how we met. You know what I'm saying? Doing stand-up comedy. How long you been doing stand-up?
10 years. I just hit my 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Where'd you start?
I started. Do you remember Adam Barnhart?
Yes.
Remember? I started at his class, the Clown House. So I started going to like clown comedy college.
Yeah.
And learning how to write a joke and how to get up there, and and it was cool because it was with all white people. White people, they're so like, oh, good job, they're so, as opposed to like if I would have went to like comedy school in La Puente, bunch of haters, I would have never, who would have never made it through. So it was cool. I grew up with white people, very very nurturing. Comedy. And then I remember my first gig. I went up. It was a random gig. Twinkie, I don't know if you remember Jose Tapia. Twinkie used to book shows back in the day.
I don't know if I remember Jose.
He gave me my first spot, and then I just kind of started going up from there, and just started working the process of writing jokes, and then that's how I ended up with the Palms. Remember how I had the Palms, and I started getting that whole little open mic and everything. And then I got the Comedy Store. Remember? So I just did a lot of bookings and stuff, and a lot of comedy, and eventually I figured I want to host. That's my niche. Like going out there, getting dressed up, getting a nice chunk of change to show up, introduce everybody.
Yeah. Because, man, a lot of people sleep on a good host.
Yeah. Oh,
because they set the tone for the whole night.
Yep.
And then you get that host, and then people just show up for the host. And then the comedies on the comedians on the lineup is just cherry on top. We getting the full night.
Oh yeah, a lot of people show up for my titties. I mean, for my hosting. So you know what I mean. They know that I'm gonna be there.
Titties first comedy night.
Well, they know it's gonna be a good show. So I've gotten to host a lot of good. Like I was just I found my old resume. The entertainment resume, right? And
absolutely.
I'm like, man, I gotta update that. And it's like it's gonna be pages, but like a really cool events, like random thing I hosted. Marilyn Manson's birthday party. Random.
Yo,
right?
Super random.
Like, it was like I was in a room full of rock stars. Everybody from Rob Zombie to James Iha, the Smashing Pumpkins. And it was a karaoke surprise birthday party.
Oh, wow.
And nobody wanted to go up and host. So his wife grabs me and goes, Tania, go up there and start this party off. I was like, okay, all right, we do it. And I looked at James, and he's like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, okay. So I went up there, talked to the DJ, and I was like, you guys straight out of Compton? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, we're going to go with that. Right? Okay. So that's what I started off with. And I introed it all. And then I was like, and this was for you. Kick it, boy. You know what I mean? And it started off into Straight Outta Compton, which I know the lyrics.
Right.
Front and
Front
back.
to back, you got that.
I was like, I don't even need the screen. Please turn that off.
Right.
You're offending me.
How did she know you?
Who? The wife?
Yeah.
Lindsay? I've known Marilyn Manson for a while, over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Okay.
a good while.
Yeah.
Good platonic friend. If there's ever a man that has never tried to shoot his shot, it's Marilyn Manson.
It was him?
Yeah.
He never shot.
No, he's always been super cool, super chill. I even spent the night one time, I didn't wake up with nothing in my ear. Like everything was, it was real cool.
The ear?
Yeah, they're real chill. The wife is super chill, and I spent the night with both of them. Like I just happened to get locked in the parking lot where they live in because it's like a liquor store deal, like 2:30. But they just real chill.
Yeah.
So every year he has a birthday party on his birthday, so you just know to save the date.
Yeah.
But you never know what it's going to be.
Okay.
So it was one of those, like, we just showed up and we're just in this random place. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. And it happened to be karaoke with Marilyn Manson.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Did they sing karaoke? The guests, the star-studded, did they go up and do some karaoke?
Some didn't want to, but some of them did go up. Yeah.
Singing other people's songs?
Singing other people's songs, which
I would like to see that.
Yeah, I would too.
Like musicians that are already established doing karaoke of other people's stuff. That'd be dope.
I was going to put up all that video that I have because it was one of those, like, please no filming, kind of tonight.
For sure.
But I asked Lindsay, I was like, hey, can I get some footage from me? She's like, yeah, go ahead. So I got to record it and I get to keep it,
Yeah.
And then, like, I'll be like, hey, can I let this out for his birthday? It was a fun night.
Yeah.
And it was a few years ago. So that was a cool one. Another one thing that I hosted was B-Real and Snoop Dogg's birthday party.
Wow.
That was cool. And of all places,
There's a lot of weed smoking in the
yeah,
vicinity.
yeah. It was there was so much weed. There was so much weed smoking. The sheriffs looked guilty. They're like, we're just gonna let this happen.
Yeah, I guess this is what it is.
Yeah, it was cool.
Wow. Were you contact high?
I was high.
Yeah. You
Contact.
fully high.
I was fully.
Oh,
high.
you was all in.
Yeah, I was all in.
Dang.
Yeah, good times. So yeah, comedy has been just, it's so relieving. It's like our de-stressor. It's our way to, get up there and get stuff off our chest.
Tough.
Yeah.
Oh, I need it. I'm like, man. As a matter of fact, I've been trying to. I've been wanting to work out new material, but I haven't been wanting to do it on the road. So I'm looking forward to getting back up locally, so I can try this stuff out, like at the comedy store and stuff like that. But on the road, I still been like tiptoeing. But yeah, so it's like, boom. Yeah. How did you know? When was the moment you was like, when you signed up for that class or whatever? When was the moment where you was like, yo, I want to do comedy?
It was. I was in that relationship, that horrible relationship.
The one with
the one.
That one?
That one.
You gonna say who was
maybe later. You know what I mean? If the water gets me drunk enough, you know what I mean? We might open up that can of worms if we want. You know what I mean? Barbara Walters that out. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll see.
That was a long relationship.
That was a long relationship. Yeah, it was. But it was at one of those points where I realized, I need to do something with myself, get myself out of just this funk. Yeah. I was like, I need to maybe go back to school. Okay. So I went through the LACC catalog and they had ballet. And I was like, I always want to be a ballerina. Oh, okay. So I signed up, right? And they gave me a call and they're like, Miss Estrada? I'm like, yes. They're like, did you sign up for Ballet 101 Ensemble? I was like, yes. They're like, well, we're going to have to cancel it because you were the only one who signed up. So.
Oh, wow. They bombed.
They bombed me.
They bombed.
Like, So they were like, the only thing available we have Saturdays is Zumba or intro to stand-up comedy. I was like, look at God. You know what I mean? That was it. And that was it. And I signed up. But
man, we could have lost you to Zumba.
You could have lost.
We could have lost you to Zumba. It was that moment, the crossroads. You was like, stand-up comedy.
Zumba.
Yep, you could have been a Zumba instructor. I'd have never met you.
Man, they had a good little bacon cart, too, right after Zumba. I was like, I don't know. You might go for the Zumba.
Right. So that's what it was.
It was that. But it wasn't that, just that. It was like when I was, do you remember when, be like Night at the Apollo or Night at the Improv and it like Channel 9, Channel 11, they played the stand-up, that we get to see. Right. That's what made me like, that's what I want to do. Okay. I want to be a comedian. Yeah. And that was something I always wanted, but it wasn't until way later that I found that class and it just kind of all went together with like, this is what I want to do. So, and I won, what was it? Class clown in high school.
Oh, so you were silly in high school.
I was super silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was dumb.
You got the pictures? You're going to have to post the throwbacks.
Oh, boy. Oh,
Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Los Angeles, California, but I grew up in La Puente, California.
Okay. And La Puente is where, in conjunction with, for those that don't know L.A., is that considered East L.A., North, South, West? Is it outskirty?
If you go east from L.A. for about 30 minutes till you run out of hope, like right there, right past the 605 is right there is La Puente.
3/4 miles from Hope. You exit that.
Exit there.
It's right there. What's it next to?
West Covina. Remember West Covina?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's between Baldwin Park and West Covina, like El Monte.
You take the 10 to get there?
Take the 10.
Yeah, the 10. Okay. The 10 East.
10 East.
Yeah.
10 East.
What was it like growing up there?
It was different because I was going to Korean school in LA.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up with a lot of civilized people.
Did you learn Korean?
I do. Yeah. 안녕하세요.
Oh, so you?
And I went to Korean school. Like, wow. It was so a lot of people think that I'm Mexican, but I'm actually Chinese Colombian and Black Colombian.
Really?
And, yeah.
I thought you was Mexican this whole time.
Hey,
that's why we had you on the show. I was like, I want a Mexican guest for verbal cardio. Tania Estrada. This whole time, wait, say it again.
I'm Chinese Colombian and Black Colombian.
What?
But when the acting roles come in, you know what I mean, to play that Chola number 1, I'm like, órale. Like,
That's hilarious.
This whole time.
I didn't even think. I didn't take the time to think. What is she?
I thought she was Mexican.
Speaks Spanish. That's it.
And you speak
Colombian?
Spanish as well.
I speak full Spanish.
Do you speak Colombian Spanish? Because Colombian Spanish is so different. It's so clean.
You
It'd
know,
be so proper.
actually, I speak full-on Mexican Spanish.
Because of growing up here?
Because growing up here,
Yeah.
because growing up with all Mexicans, I sound like fluent Mexican, and they have no idea that I'm even Colombian
You know
until I say it.
You left me a voice note in Spanish. You do sound Mexican.
Right? Yeah, I voice message her.
Yeah.
This is a bombshell.
If you were to hear Colombian, you would know the difference. Even if you don't know Spanish, you'd be like, oh, I can understand every single word when Colombians speak, because it's like they pronounce every single letter. But when anybody else speaks, they just be running through it.
It would be the equivalent to like English person speaking English. Would that be the equivalent?
It would be the equivalent of somebody coming fresh out of like those classes, those proper like etiquette classes. It's like somebody fresh out of etiquette class.
Okay.
Not even fresh out. Somebody who's been in etiquette for years.
Yeah.
Speaking English.
So there's no there's yes.
It's yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It'd be like etiquette Spanish to La Puente Spanish. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Or like etiquette, like the way they speak and the way you'd go in the hood.
Yeah.
Like it's a different slang. And it's very Spanglish and it's very improper.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell. I think too, because it's a lot funnier, like to think like these. You'll be like, la verga, or no manches, way. You know what I mean? Like things like that. I hope you don't have to censor that.
No, man, we raw in here. We raw. What'd you just say?
We
for
raw.
The people listening and myself.
La verga, is usually.
You know, I
like,
don't ever use that. It's funny because when people talk to me in Spanish out here, I'll be like, oh, okay. Because, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. So my Spanish, I'll be like, yo, dímelo, ¿y qué lo que? And they'd be like, oh, okay.
It's different.
It's different. Our slang is so different. And then both sides is pure slang. Like literally everything that comes out of our mouth is
This is all slang.
And then Dominicans speak 1,000,000 miles per minute. You know what I mean? Like it's so many words coming at you at once that when I have to find a proper balance when I'm talking out here.
Oh, okay.
And like even then I'm not like confident in my Spanish because I'd be like, they don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
I remember you were talking to that guy when we got in the taxi in Miami, and y'all were talking to each other. And I was like, man, I don't know what they were saying, but I was just like, they're talking about something.
Oh, that Cuban Spanish is fast
Cuban.
in
Yeah,
Miami.
Cuban.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I'll be like, huh?
It's all fast to me. Like from the outside looking in, it's all fast. I'm like, they just my nose is bleeding. I'm like, man, how are they keeping up with what they're talking about? So it's all fast to me. But I can hear the differences. Like I'm starting to really be mindful of like the differences. Even when I watch Narcos, I've noticed the differences because they started in Colombia. And then they go to Mexico, so it's like, I'm hearing a little bit of stuff. But
You just reminded me of one of your skits, like one of your first skits, where you would use the narco music.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Crimwood. I
Bring
based
him
that
back.
off of Pablo Escobar on Narcos. He was just so regular looking, this huge drug lord, and he was just dressed basic. Even for back then, he wasn't flamboyant. And I was just like, man, look at how he's just built
like
and the way
a
he
regular
moves.
dad.
Yeah, and I was just like,
Someone's dad out here
I'm
making
gonna
money.
be this guy. So your parents then, I want to know the parental breakdown there. So your mom is from where?
So my mom is from Medellin, Bogota, Medellin, Colombia, those regions. She went to, this is funny, convent to school. She went to a convent, okay? My dad is from El Chocó. El Chocó is the region part, like over the Amazons, where all the black people are of Colombians who are not allowed to be with anyone outside their race. Because,
Really?
Yeah, they're like racist against them mixing with, well, we're talking, my dad's from 1929.
Oh, wow.
And my mom's
Okay.
from 1949. So
Okay,
it was a
yeah.
different, like a totally different era. And my dad ended up being a chauffeur not only a chauffeur, he ended up starting the first syndicate for chauffeurs, like a little union in Colombia.
Really?
So in case, because, you know, in other countries, if a chauffeur gets into an accident, they have to go to jail. Because, like, they don't have no protection or insurance. So my dad, being that he came from being a lawyer, and, you know, his brother was a lawyer, so he learned law. So he started this whole little syndicate of chauffeurs, right? So it was like a little house. So if you got in a car accident, you were a chauffeur, you got to stay in the house instead of having to be in jail. So at that time, my dad was, I guess before he started the syndicate, he was a chauffeur at the convent. And my mom was a little hoe. My mom wanted to get it like at 16 because they're like very far apart in age. I think he took her like at 16 and he was like 36, 37.
Pops was corrupt.
At nighttime. At nighttime, you know, and so
but I hate to say, but that was normal back then.
So normal.
It was normal.
That was the move back then.
And especially in other places, like outside of here.
Forget it.
Even in here, let's
14,
be honest.
I'm 45.
So back then, you know what I mean? So it was a thing. Oh, I forgot to mention my mom's descendants from being from China is because, did you guys ever hear about the gold rush? But over in that part?
Not in that region. I always hear about it in San Francisco and stuff like that, but...
Okay, so what they did is in Peru, there's a bunch of people in Peru, and let me know if any of you are Asian out there that come from that region, and this is why this happened, okay? So there's these Peruvians that will go up to China and be like, if you pay us this much money, we'll take you to the gold rush. And so they would pay him this money. Chinese would pay him this money, and they would take him down and just drop him off in Peru.
Oh, wow.
Now, we're talking, you know, there's no cell phones at that time. There's no, that's like...
You just dropped off.
It just dropped off.
Make your way downtown.
Yeah. You know, we got gypped, right? What do you do? So some of them settled in Peru. Some of them spread to other parts of the country. But if you notice in Peru, the food is very Chinese-based. Like
really?
Never
noticed that.
It's very, very Asian. Oh, Peruvian food is the
really, though?
Yeah, Peruvian food is good. But yeah, so that's where my mom comes from, that region.
There's a place in New York. I think it's Peruvian and Chinese, and it's like one of the most popular places. It's, I think it might. They claim that the Nutcracker comes from there, the drink, but I don't know.
Never had the Nutcracker.
Or the woman.
The Nutcracker. Any of my patron saints, have any of you ever been to Peru? It's holiday season, y'all. It's holiday season. Fellas, how those balls doing this holiday season? How's your package? Your undercarriages? How they doing out here? Are they taking care of? Are you really taking care of the packages out here? I know you're taking care of the packages that come to the house. Oh, I was waiting for this in the mail. But are you showing that same respect and care to your package? The package you take everywhere you go. That's important, man. The package must be maintained, secured, and cared for, trimmed up, if you will. Manscaped is always here for you, man. And it's the holidays. So it's holiday season, and you don't know what to get as a gift or a stocking stuffer. Do you not know? All right, well, today's sponsor, Manscaped, has the tools to guarantee you win this year's stocking stuffer or white elephant competition. Manscaped is the leader in men's below-the-waist grooming, and they serve more than 4 million men worldwide. That's a lot of packages. 4 million men, that's a lot of shafts, a lot of balls. So if there's 4 million men, you double it for the balls. That could potentially be 8 million sets of balls, unless, of course, you know, some people don't have both, so I don't want to exclude. But we're looking at potentially 7.5 million balls. I just want to throw that out there. Now, if my math is correct, they already said this. We right on the same track, Manscaped. If my math is correct, it's almost 8 million balls. It was already here. We on the same wavelength. You can get 20% off, free shipping, if you go to manscaped.com with the code VERBAL. Now, one of their best-selling products is the Manscaped 4.0. It's at the top of every man's wish list. Because, come on, man. You got to keep downstairs together. You got to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? And don't even use the excuse, I'm single, nobody's looking down there. No, man, you never know. You never know what might happen. Being a single man out here, you never know what might happen on any given night. You know what I mean? You could be surprised, like, oh, and you don't want to get caught out there with the wild foliage down below. You don't want to be unruly. You know those yards in certain neighborhoods where every block is like, oh, they got nice yards. And then you always hit that one house where it look like, man, they don't even give a damn about the yard. You don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Well, they'd be like, oh, man, you look like the haunted house at the end of the block in the front yard. You don't want to be like that down there. Come on, fellas. Manscaped has this lawn mower body trimmer, the best trimmer on the market for your balls, butt, and body, and the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer. Hey, you need that nose trimmer. I be seeing a lot of cats out here, hairs hanging out the nose, me included. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I got it, man. Some rogue hairs out here trying to escape the nostril prison, okay? And then when you get older, them ear hairs start coming in. You got to get those trimmed up. Let's not forget their famous liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, and Crop Reviver Ball Toner to maximize your ball hygiene routine. Get the Performance Package now to receive 2 free gifts, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Now, I got the Shed Travel Bag. I love that travel bag. The dads can't stop talking about this. The teens secretly buy this, and the women will love you for it. Now, these are our picks for Manscaped Surefire Win stocking stuffers. Number 1, the Manscaped 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, which just launched. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's me all day. 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm going to get the hummingbird and the blue jay with 1 rock, okay? You got the number 2, the Manscaped Cologne Infused Body Wash, which I love. I love that body wash. Number 3, Shears 2.0 Luxury 4-piece Nail Kit. Number 4, Crop Mops, ball wipes for your stanky balls. Number 5, Manscaped Signature Cologne. These formulations are all vegan, cruelty-free, dye-free, sulfate-free, paraben-free, so you know their products are legit. Now, I'm just now finding out that all these products are vegan and cruelty-free. They're dye-free, sulfate. I'm just now finding all this out. I love Manscaped even more. Make sure to hurry to their site to ensure these wild gifts show up before the holiday season. And while you're at it, get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com with the code VERBAL. That's manscaped.com with the code VERBAL, 20% off plus free shipping. Whether this is for your partner, dad, brother, friend, get them something that they will actually use, and it's almost sure to get a laugh. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code VERBAL. Be the ballsiest gift giver this year with Manscaped. My favorite country in South America is Chile because it's so long, just the way it's shaped. Like I can always spot it on the map. It goes down the whole, damn near the whole coast, but it's just long. So I always remember that from one of my classes in college. Argentina, not yet. Nope. Man, I never left the East Coast. Slarita, I'm gonna need you to travel,
right,
bro.
go somewhere.
You need to go somewhere next month.
But if you're from New York, you know Flor de Mayo because everybody used to go there to drink, like all the youngins and stuff like that.
The youngsters.
I don't think they ever checked IDs. I don't know. I wasn't drinking at the time, but the food was good because you get a lot of good food for cheap. I think there's a location. There's a location in Manhattan and there's a location in Brooklyn. I don't know if the Brooklyn one is still there. But Flor de Mayo, which is Peruvian and Chinese food.
Hey, go there,
It's
Slarita.
mad good.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's real
That's like
good.
a
Go
good
there.
combo.
I didn't know that was like a thing. I just thought they were like, oh, I was like, this is a cool combo.
No, that makes sense. Peruvian and Chinese.
Okay.
'Cause
Wow.
it's
I didn't know.
so
I'm
that's
learning
why.
a lot with this.
Yeah. Oh, if you want to learn more, do you know about Chile and what's going on there? Or
No.
supposedly?
Tell me more. What's going on in the slender country along the coast?
So along the Andes Mountains in that region, they're said to be about, say, a 200-mile stretch that is very difficult to get to. It's very hot. You have to like travel in these like spider wheels to get to it, and temperatures reach like 120,
Oh
130.
hell no! With the humidity? Oh hell no! But keep going.
So they have found all these huge hieroglyphics in this area, and they've said that this is probably where the aliens come and chill. 'Cause
Really?
nobody can get to it, and there's evidence. So there you go. Because I love aliens. I love everything about aliens and finding out where they're going, and you know where we're off to next.
Right. Yes. This is going down now?
This is going, it's going down now. There's a stretch along the Chilean Andes Mountains in that area. And you'll see it. Like if you look it up, like they got a team to go out there, and it's like, who made that? Not even, you know what I mean? A production crew would make these hieroglyphics, but it's like you can see they're big. You know what I mean? Oh, there's big, huge markings.
And they can't connect a particular civilization to those hieroglyphics. They're just like, yo, who
would do that? But and also too, you know how here in LA we have a lot of high-speed chases.
Yeah.
Well, over there they have a lot of stop TV transmissions because of an identified flying object. They always have those where they break out live. And they do that. So that happens a lot in Chile, and it's known. Like we have high-speed car chases, they have UFO sightings that go live.
Yo, I'm super intrigued. I love anything aliens, ghosts. I'm all in every time, and I'm just like, because for me, I feel like we're not alone in the universe. There's just too much out there for it to just be this. That would be a complete waste of everything, in my opinion.
I agree.
But the amazement factor for me is that a civilization was able to become so advanced that they are able to travel between, light years to get to us. And it's just coming back and forth, and it's just like, because I feel like, okay, so Earth is it's billions of years old, right? And I'm thinking like, and they say the universe has a certain age. So I think about other planets that could have life, and I'm just like, all right, some of these planets are in different phases of life. Like, it might be a planet that has dinosaurs right now because, they never got hit by asteroids. So you got that. And then you might have a planet that more advanced than us is like, we traveling, we moving stuff with our minds, we doing this. We found a way to bend the universe, space-time to cut the distance short and go through a black hole, and then we come out over here. So I'm just like, I'm amazed by all of that.
Well, if you listen to my favorite man, Neil deGrasse Tyson,
this is the guy,
is just
man.
he is like
he's the guy.
Oh, I love listening to him, and what he explains in quantum physics is that everything that's happening here is happening somewhere else,
right,
in another version,
right,
at this moment.
Yes.
So if of what could have been a decision that you made could be happening somewhere else in another universe, going on in infinity.
Oh, so he's saying that there's another universe like this. It's another me, you, her, him. In another, like the multiverse. That's
Wait, so that makes me think. If you met other universe you, this is so stupid. I don't know why I'm going to ask this, but this is the first question that came to my mind. Would you hit?
What?
Would you smash yourself?
Yeah.
I'm not smashing myself.
Wait.
I feel like I would, as a woman.
I think Sabrina would smash herself.
I would smash myself because I'd be like, what's up, other universe me? You know what I like.
Sabrina likes.
You know what I like.
She likes herself and women that look like her. She's like, yeah. And
I mean, outside of that too, but women, I'd be like, okay. All right. But I think if I met other universe, I don't know why I thought this, but this is my first thought. I was like, oh, there's another me out there. I don't have to do any of the work. Is it considered masturbation?
Oh.
There you ooh, I just fucked y'all up with that one. I fucked y'all up.
You could potentially get an STI from yourself, so
I'd be
they
so
would be
mad.
sex.
I'd beat my ass.
Yeah, because your other self had chlamydia maybe, and then
I'd be
like,
so. I'd be like, what are you doing over here?
I didn't know I had it.
What are you doing over here?
And then because we all dodged bullets on that front. And
from other people.
Some of us didn't, but some of us dodged bullets. So it's just like, the other universe, you caught it. And now, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't smash myself.
Queer Claus said I'd absolutely smash myself.
Oh.
Shout out to you, Queer
What
Claus.
did you say? Did you say yes or no?
Yeah, I'd smash myself.
Did you smash yourself? I would. Cam, would you smash yourself?
I guess men are different.
No. I would help myself smash someone else, maybe.
Oh, wingman.
Wingman.
Yeah, the ultimate wingman for yourself.
I feel like most women are more on the spectrum than men. Like more,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Yeah. So like men are usually either on one side, maybe a little bit on the in the middle.
Yeah.
Or completely the other side. But women are usually like very rarely on just one side of the spectrum. So
Right.
it's like, yeah, I'd test it out.
Yeah. I would hang out with myself for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's my guy,
kicking
man.
it.
'Cause he's me.
I try to hook us up.
Yeah.
I think in another universe I'd be gay, or I would be married with children. You know what I mean? Or I would be divorced with children. Like it just infinity and
keeps...
beyond. Yeah, or like, not in entertainment. You know, at a 9-to-5 job, in a cubicle. It could just, it's infinity and beyond.
In one of those universes, you could be a rock star guitarist.
In this universe, I am.
Yeah, it could be like, yo, she's the biggest guitarist in the world. Give it up. And then
That would be in Europe.
in Europe is always the place. It's cracking over there in Europe, overseas.
Yeah, if you're not cracking here in the U.S., you're cracking in Europe.
You're cracking in Europe. They're like, man, come out here.
We got you.
So your dad took your mom down statutorily. You know what I'm saying? They made it happen. Did she quit convent school?
She quit convent. She went into photography.
Okay, so he was like, yo, man, you don't need God. Stick with me.
Yeah, they just did their own little thing. Like he had his chauffeur, syndicate. And then
Syndicate sounds so shady, by the way.
Oh,
Syndicate.
let me tell you how shady it was.
Oh.
Like, it wasn't shady. It was not the syndicate. They called it a sindicato.
Okay.
So in Spanish it sounds a little bit, but in English we know what syndicate really means.
The syndicate, man. Come on, the syndicate. This sounds so like the lights dim and like the syndicate.
From the makers of The Wire comes the syndicate.
The syndicate on HBO. Man, that's my show right there. The Syndicate, episode 6. Okay, so Syndicate.
So Syndicate. So at one point, the FARC came down.
What's that?
The FARC. It was the guerrillas. Look up FARC. It's a whole
FARC. Okay.
The FARC showed up at my dad's building, and they wanted to have an inquisition, and they had a typewriter. Oh, she said, they had a typewriter, and they were going through all his paperwork and like running through. So they showed up.
This is the first photo these are kids.
Yo.
These are children. That is a 3-year-old holding.
Oh.
Yeah.
A
So the guys,
M16?
Yeah.
So the guy showed up, and they were telling my dad that what he was doing was illegal, and this and that, and blah blah blah, trying to break down what he was trying to do to help people.
Okay.
They were like not about it because it was government.
Right.
So back then it was my dad's building, and he owned the phone number, and they were trying to intimidate him, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna take everything. We're gonna take your files and your office furniture, and we're gonna take this." And he's like, "Yo, you can take everything, but you can't take my phone. That's my phone number.
Yeah.
So feel free." And he just stood there like trying to be a badass. And they were like, "Okay.
All
right. Okay.
that.
All right. You're going to be okay."
Yeah.
So then they left, and my dad told my mom, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
And they packed up, and they boned out to Panama.
Oh, they went to Panama.
So they went to Panama, which in family history, they used to tell us it was their honeymoon, but it was not. Wasn't their honeymoon.
The escape.
It was the escape.
The retreat for real.
And so he left. They stayed in Panama, and then he left her in Panama. He made it to the U.S., and he ended up getting a job working under Ronald Reagan's. I guess his administration.
On the legal side?
No, on the catering side.
Really? Your pops is
My dad
doing
was
it.
making money. Yeah, he was doing whatever
He was Hustle McGee. I was a lawyer here, and then I had my little car service syndicate, you know what I'm saying? And then catering.
He later had a car dealership.
Pops was Hustle McGee.
My dad was Hustle McGee. He was. And when they got here to the States, my parents ended up working for Shackley. Remember Shackley?
Shackley.
It was like vitamins and multi-level. It was like the Mary Kay of vitamins.
Okay.
And so they did that, and they would always have these big Friday night meetings where they would bring people in, and they would meet people all week long. Come to our meeting, and try to sell people vitamins. So my dad would dress up in a suit, and he had a whole showroom with all the vitamins. My mom would get all decked up, and then they would have raffles, and they would have all kinds of prizes. So people would show up to this Friday night party.
Right.
And I had to be asleep, but I would watch my dad,
Uh-huh.
and it was like he was doing stand-up.
Okay.
But in Spanish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just running this whole meeting, keeping everybody laughing, going through his charts
Uh-huh.
about nutrition, and, you know, and how you need this and that for your body to
Right.
make you. And you should see like all the things that he made just like by cutting stuff out and making photocopies, and then like getting like a remember those projectors? And,
Yeah.
like he did in the 70s. He was doing
Wow.
that 80s. And throwing a whole little Friday night comedy thing. And the
Yeah.
house would be packed, like 50, 60 people deep. He had his own chairs. He had a whole thing with the metal chairs.
Wow.
And the best part was the raffle, because they were like badass gifts.
Yeah.
Like, and so my mom would be shopping all week, you know what I mean, downtown, getting all these badass gifts, and people would be so happy at the raffle, and they come back every Friday night. So I would always see my dad hosting.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of,
You was like
yeah.
hosting comedy. You was taking it
Syndicate.
in on the stairs, on the
Syndicate.
stairs, looking down. Syndicate, hosting comedy. Okay, it's all coming. This is your origin story.
Yeah, this is my origin story. A funny part about what ended up happening during that time, we had a very big house. And during the time, the babysitter, who turned out to be my dad's mistress, but that's a whole nother story. Pops was doing the most, man. Pops, rest
Your
in
Pops
peace,
is
Pops.
the most
Rest in
interesting
peace.
man in the world, man.
He was. He kind of looked like O.J. Simpson, too, which is kind of funny.
Oh.
So
he had a flare-up.
potentially
Yeah.
murderous Pops.
So during that time, the Salvadorians were going through a whole civil war. And the lady that stayed with us was Salvadorian. So she was like, yo, I need to try to get my family out of there. Everybody's dying. So our house became the Salvation Army of Salvadorians, and it became a whole refuge. So the whole Friday night parties ended, and they were like, he traded in all those chairs for cots and set up all kinds of cots. So people would come in, you know, refugee style, and have a place to wake up where it was nice and clean.
Wow.
And they would make pupusas, if you guys know
Oh,
what
yes,
pupusas are.
pupusas.
So that they would cook, you know, and do the curtido and everything, and then they would go out in the morning and sell pupusas, and they would save the money. And then in the meanwhile, my dad would try and help them find like a house or an apartment so they can take the money and move and help the families move around. So that was my time in LA. And then the gangs got real bad. Like, remember Ganglands?
Yeah, I love that show.
Okay, so remember the episode where the Mara Salvatrucha was coming and burning everybody up?
Yes.
That was my street.
Are you serious?
That was my street. I was not allowed to go out and play anymore with nobody. 'Cause they shot, I remember all the kids across the street they shot? Those are my friends that I used to play with. Wasn't allowed out anymore. So from day and night, my parents just packed up the house and moved us to La Puente, thinking that we were going to be safe, not knowing that all the cholos had been scared by the Mara Salvatrucha and everybody had moved to La Puente. So it was like gangland, like, you know, season episode 2, like in La Puente. It was crazy growing up.
Because that gang started in El Salvador, right?
Yeah. But so when they were coming over with the refugees too, they felt like they needed to like make a presence.
Yeah.
Remember, that's what they were talking about, like to be taken serious.
Right.
So it just snowballed.
And they took it to the next level. They was like, we're gonna make our presence felt.
Man.
That's crazy.
So I come from that era.
Yeah.
And then growing up in La Puente wasn't fun because in the meanwhile, you know, I didn't get to go those 5-6 years to the elementary down the street. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So my parents were using my friend's address or their friend's address so I can go to Korean school, like way across town.
Okay, so you never even knew.
I never even knew really because now my parents were driving me back and forth every day. No bus, no friends, no spending the night, no party. I was just back and forth, back and forth.
You only child?
No, I grew up with my brother, who was the babysitter's son.
Okay.
So we grew up like brother and sister.
Gotcha.
But my sister was born when I was 7 years old.
Okay.
And then that's when my childhood stopped.
Oh, it stopped then?
It felt like it.
Yeah.
Like it felt like like at 7, like I lost my parents because she just would not stop crying. You know?
Oh, okay.
Like it was one of those sisters just like, any minute that my parents, it's like she knew like, oh, she's there, she get attention. Like she would just freak out. So it was a very traumatizing from 7 on. I was just traumatized by all the crying and the screaming and just the incessant just noise. where sometimes in my house, I just like it to be dead quiet.
Yeah.
No noise, no nothing, except for binaural beats, you know?
Yeah.
Because those calm me.
Right.
But any kind of noise for me feels like I'd rather put my ear next to a vacuum cleaner and just sit there like in comfort than hear screaming kids.
Dang.
It drives me nuts.
They done tore you up with that.
Oh, man.
Are you and your sister close now? Or you still be like,
She
you
there.
was crying.
I mean, no, you were crying.
You was crying,
You
man.
you know what you did to my
Yeah?
dolls?
Man,
Oh, what she
you
did to my
ruined it.
man. You know what she did to my dolls?
Oh, snap.
Oh,
man.
snap.
Not only was she crying, but she done messed up the dolls.
So, because that's all I had was my dolls.
Yeah.
And my dolls was this huge collection that my mom had got me on big metal stilts. Like I had dolls and dolls and dolls.
Yeah.
Everything from Barbie to Gem and the Holograms to She-Ra dolls. Like everything. And I would take them out the box and play with them, then put everything back, put my dolls back up. And one day I came home and she had knocked these stands down somehow. And she ripped the boxes open and she had markered all over their faces.
Nah, son.
I hope you watching this right now.
The son is
I
coming.
hope you watching this right now. You know what you did.
You know what you did.
Come on. She-Ra, she marked on
She
She-Ra's
marked on
face.
She-Ra, she marked on Glimmer, she marked on Catra. Yeah.
Said that's not a piece. That's a terror. That's terrorism.
Man,
That
I
is
would have never
absolutely-
been cool with my sibling.
Yeah.
That'd
It was
been
hard.
Be
It
like,
was
nah,
hard.
man, She-Ra.
Yeah, you know what you did to She-Ra.
Man.
You know what you did to Jim
Where she live now?
La Puente.
She's still in La Puente?
She's a tutor for Asian kids.
Really?
So yeah, so she got her.
She's
got
still
her
tied
justice.
into the Asian community.
She do her thing.
Yeah.
We Asian in that sense.
Yeah.
We're not super Asian.
Uh-huh.
We're more like Latino.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's cool that she ended up being a tutor for
Yeah.
Asian kids.
It's
you know?
honorable work, man.
Yeah, that is.
But at the
It is.
same
and
time-
we're adults now, but still.
Yeah. Of course.
Do
Yeah.
you make like typical Colombian food, or did you grow up on that? Like the whole like arepas and the bandeja. Like, did you grow up with all that?
I did, but my mom's cooking sucked because it was dry. It was
yeah.
overcooked and dry. Like
Yeah.
it was like, and then she would try to make Chinese food, and it was just worse.
Oh,
Like it was like,
man.
oh man, come on. You know what I mean? You don't gotta cook fried rice that much.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta
It's
stop
fried.
it. It's fried
Rice
already.
all
You know what I mean?
crunchy, like. Man, you
Dark.
eating cereal? Nah, this is fried rice. I thought it was grape nuts.
Grape nuts.
It was
Man.
grape nuts. Yeah.
Dang.
So
and Pops didn't cook?
my pops cooked bomb. That's where I learned how to cook.
Okay,
was
so
my
he
dad.
could throw
Yeah,
down.
he'd be like,
Did he cook a lot, or did he was he working too much?
he was fucking too much.
Oh, he was smashing
he
too.
was out there getting them pumps in all over.
So you probably
yeah.
got more siblings that you don't know about.
You know, it's so funny at the funeral.
Oh snap!
Oh.
The funeral where the truth comes out.
Right.
At the funeral, because at that point, you know, we accepted a lot, so we were very still in our crying.
Yeah.
You know, we were good. And so all of a sudden, you just hear all this like loud crying. You know, it's my mom, my sister, my brother, right? And I turn around, I'm like, "Who's this lady?" Just like, "Ah."
Yeah.
And I go, "Mom, who's that?" And she goes, "Oh, that's the baker." I'm all smashing the baker. I know he loves sweets like that.
Man.
He probably smashing the baker. But, you know, he used to own a car dealership.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the funniest part of the funeral was that the DMV lady came.
Oh snap! He was smashing the DMV lady.
The DMV lady came and talked at the funeral. And her son looked like my dad.
Oh.
He was sitting there like, Pops.
He talked about what a great dad, you know, what a great man my dad was.
Yeah.
And Mr. Estrada was always there for him after school, picking him up to go get
Oh.
pupusas. I'm like, damn.
That was his son,
And he
man.
became a lawyer.
Oh,
Hilarious.
Does he look like OJ now?
Huh?
The kid?
With the hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like OJ. Yeah. Like, how you have look like OJ.
That was his.
But yeah.
That's your brother. And you mentioned another brother. You got another brother too?
I got another brother.
Okay.
And he's cool. He's like my stepbrother or the original babysitter's kid.
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got you.
So he stays with my mom and takes care of my mom
Gotcha.
and stuff and with my sister.
Okay.
So
they're all in La Puente now.
they're on La Puente.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you be going over there still?
No.
Oh, you don't even pull up. You like
You know, and I think it's okay to say this because a lot of people are always like, oh, my mom and my dad. And listen, I love my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
I do. I love them they gave me life and they kept me safe as best as they could.
Right.
However, there's some things that just kind of happen that you just can't disregard. And you're just like, you could have done better.
yeah.
And not only that, I think as Latinos especially, and I don't know, how white people have it or whatever, and I say that because a lot of white people grow up good. Like, they know how to instill values in their kids, and they go that extra step where the kids don't come off so traumatized.
Right.
But Latinos, we don't get that chance. It's like, I don't know how to say this, but I think it's just best sometimes if your parents are toxic to just stay away from them. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
Because parents can just be so negative and so nagging and so this, and they make you feel like you need to live up to be a certain way that they want you to live up to, and it's like, no, I don't. I get to live for me, like,
Right.
and and in turn, I got to do the one thing that a lot of kids want, and it's they want to make their parents proud, right? Like that's the one thing they want to do.
Right.
Of
course.
And so the day for that was when my dad got to see me do stand-up with my tattoos.
Okay.
Because I've been hiding my tattoos from my dad since I was 18 years old.
Wow.
So over 20 years.
Yeah.
Even when I got married the first time.
You was still...
I got my wedding dress was short, but I had sleeves put on to match the dress.
Okay.
So it was like I was always hiding it from him. And one day he knew I was going to be at this show and he was there. And I was like, oh, dang. I'm like, God, you 30-something years old. You know what I mean? You go in there and be like,
Right.
And I did it. And at first he was like, he looked at me like I showed him my vagina. He was like, didn't want to look.
Yeah.
And then I did my show. My mom was there too. And I talked to her the next day, and I was like, so what did my dad say?
Yeah.
And he said that he grabbed my hand, and he looked at me, and he goes, can you believe we made that?
Oh, he was big proud.
Oh, big proud.
He was big proud.
Big proud.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I try to hide an idiot. I try to hide this huge tattoo on my arm, right? And I had stuff up top. My mom was fine with it because you can cover it up, like everything that was above my elbow. But when I got this, I went to go visit her in Florida, and it was the summertime, and I was wearing a hoodie. It was like 100 and something outside, but I was rocking a hoodie because I was like, hey man. And she's like, it's hot outside. Why are you wearing this hoodie? I was like, oh, I'm not. I'm cold. I think I'm anemic. I try to pull anything out. I would think I was 23 or something like that, or 22. I was just making up. She's like, Sabrina, take off the hoodie. So I took out one arm because this was the side that like the bare arm was near her. So I was like, all right, let me just take this off and just leave this one arm like right behind me with the sleeve still on. And she's like, Sabrina, take off the hoodie right now. I was like, damn, bro. All right. I took it off. And you would have thought that I killed somebody in front of her.
Yeah.
Oh.
What did you do? Oh, my God. I was like, I told you I was going to get my whole body tattooed. Because that was the plan. That was the original plan. Not my whole body, but I was going to get the whole right side of my body tattooed. Even like my head and everything. And so she was like, oh, my daughter, where did I go wrong? And I was like, oh, God. Like, I should have just never visited. But parents just be doing too much. I don't remember my dad's reaction. I can't remember a damn thing about my dad seeing my tattoos. He was probably like, did you eat?
Did you eat?
Yeah.
That's bad funny.
That's probably exactly what he probably looked at it. Oh, Did you eat? You hungry? Because that was always his thing. He was like, all right, but is there food in your system?
Yeah.
No. All right, I'm going to go home and cook. I'm like, all right.
That's a better reaction.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate my dad for that. I feel like he would probably talk shit behind my back instead of in front of it because I'm very, like, I'd be ready to challenge him. I'm very challenging with my dad because I'd be like...
More so than your mom?
Even with my mom, but my mom's so dramatic that I just don't have time for it.
Yeah.
I don't got time for it. But with my dad, it's like a nice debate. And, like, he's a hard-headed Caribbean man. Like, old school, hard-headed Caribbean. Well, he was. I feel like everything we've ever debated about, like, whether it's, like, my tattoos, my veganism, like, my stance on religion, my stance on, like, LGBTQ plus community, like, all of these things that we've debated on, he's now that person that understands it. And he's more vegetarian than anything, going towards vegan. He's more accepting of, like, anyone gay or trans or anything like that. He asked me, he's like, oh, Sabrina, I think I want to get a tattoo. He wants a tattoo, get a tattoo of his mom. I was like, shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
Hey,
Yeah.
Veganism, look, I applaud you guys because veganism is where it's at. Like, for reals, on the way that what we ingest and what happens to our body in cellular turnover. That's why you're going to look young forever. Is because you eat things, like if you look at a piece of broccoli, right? And you see how strong it is, and vibrant and green, and you eat that and you go to sleep and you wake up and you're glowing.
Yeah.
It's because you just got that life from that plant and your body didn't have to go through much to have to absorb it.
Right.
It just absorbs it naturally. But when you go and you eat pork or you eat, dirty beef, it's dirty chicken. You know what I mean? Dirty chicken is the worst. I just want to say to all the boyfriends that I've ever beat up in my life, I was eating dirty chicken. Okay, I know that's what it is. Like, and for Latinas that go crazy, you probably eating dirty chicken too.
That's why I'm so calm.
If when you eat chicken, you take on like the vibes of the animal that you eat.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you eat a chicken, you will be like you just be freaked out. You know what I mean? You be that
they do
toxic
be looking
person,
stressed though.
right? They be, but you end up with that stress.
Yeah.
And I realized it was dirty chicken that was causing me to go to jail.
That makes sense.
The dirty chicken had you incarcerated.
That makes sense.
But veganism is definitely a way to stay very, very healthy, very glowing. You're like completely sheening with your hydration and everything. Sheeny, you too.
You got good. Look at him.
Yeah.
And it's true because energy transfers.
It does.
No matter if you're eating,
sure.
if you're eating something that's stressed out, that's going through trauma, that knows it's about to be killed, and it's like literally all this like trauma is being built up within this animal, and then it gets killed, which is scary. That's added energy, and then you absorb all that. It's like, of course you're gonna be. Because I used to be a hothead when I was younger, like a OD like hothead, like it's
dirty
bad,
chicken,
real bad. Yeah. And then once I stopped eating meat, when I was vegetarian, I was still kind of a hothead. Like I've definitely gotten into fights as a vegetarian, but now as a vegan, I don't even raise my voice. Like how many times have we had in like loud arguments? And I hate when people would be like, when I tell them my mix, like, oh, I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, and Haitian, like, oh, you crazy, you this. And I was like, no. Oh, you got to watch out for you. No.
Especially with me, I don't date crazy. Or like, volatile, I'll be like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
The minute it's too much, I'm like.
I will never raise my voice in anger, especially also because I grew up on that. That's all I knew in my household. My mom, like any little thing would be yelling. I'd be like, hey, you don't have to yell at me. She's like, I'm Puerto Rican, I can't help it. I'm like, that's not an excuse.
Right.
And then my Dominican side, they're loud too. I just grew up around loudness that I'm like, I'm going to shut up.
Do you still go home for the holidays?
Not for the holidays, but for other.
Is it loud?
Yeah, my mom's still very loud. But she's gotten better because I've told her like, hey, like you're not good for my peace.
See, that's what I'm saying.
You got to tell them.
Yeah.
I had to tell her straight up like, hey, I love you, but you're not, like, I'm stressed around you. I can't even if I'm going to sleep, I can't calm down around you because I don't know when you're going to come out yelling at me for no reason. You know what I mean? So, like, I had to tell her straight up. And everybody who's listening, stand up to your parents and let them know how they make you feel on the inside because it makes quite the difference.
It does.
Like, she's gotten way better. She's, like, less, like, problematic for no reason. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh, okay. All I had to do was tell you.
That's what we want to see, parents walking on eggshells around.
Yeah.
I mean, just taking it easy because, you know, they get stubborn and be like, you're the child. I'm the parent. This.
Yeah.
And, like, that was a big reason why, like, when we first got together, it was, I invited her to come stay with me because I knew, you know, she was kind of stressed in that environment. So I was like, that was a big reason why I was like, come stay, you know, because she was in a transition, you know, occupationally too. So I was like, man, come on out.
Yeah.
Because it honestly, like, before we hooked up, I was about to look forward to my own space.
Yeah.
Because I've never had that. I was like, man, it's going to be a good time. But then, and I knew she was going through that. I was like, you know what, come on out. And then, you know, we'll.
And when we
first got together, I was going to take it way slower than that
Yeah.
and just have a, you know, bi-coastal relationship. And I was like, man, you don't need to be around that. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
And when we first met, I was still living in New York at the time. I was still working for the Knicks, and then I was making my transition from that to figuring out what else I'm going to do. So I was like, let me leave New York and figure it out. So I stayed with my mom for a little bit, thinking that it'd be like calmer. Oh God, it was stressful every fucking night, and it was just too much. And then my grandmother she's got Alzheimer and dementia, and my mom didn't know how to handle it. Like, she just wasn't good. Like, she would get mad at my grandmother for forgetting things, and I'm like, bro, like, she can't help it. Like, you can't get mad at the inevitable because it's only going to get worse and you're going to get only more stressed out. You're going to give yourself a heart attack. You know what I mean? So, like, just living in that. And then me being the complete opposite, being the kind of person that's like, oh, I'll be all right. Like, I might stress something for a second, but I'm like, all right, I can't live in this. Like, I can't live in this anger. I can't live in this stress. I don't do arguments. I don't do none of this. So me living in that environment, I was just like, bro, I can't. So when he asked me, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm packed. I'm at the airport. Pick me up. And, but I mean, it worked out. Here we are 4 years later.
Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Guys, hit your anniversary.
4 years, man.
Yeah.
And for everybody who's wondering what Sabrina looks like, she looks like low-key Dominican Sade over here.
Oh, okay.
I
They
get
say
that.
Sade a lot.
I get that a lot.
Cherishing the day. Won't catch me running. Sade's my favorite singer of all time.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, you probably already know. But
let's clear up that that's not why you with me.
yeah. It's not that she looks like Sade.
People always be like, oh, I see why.
Because I never made the correlation myself
I
until
know.
people started, well, look at, you know, and I was like, oh, but I never even thought. Because Sade was my oldest brother's crush. That was his, you know, I just like the music and the whole aesthetic of the vibe that was Sade.
And Sabrina looks more, her features are more defined than Sade, so she is prettier. Sabrina is prettier.
thank
You
you.
have more
I love
defined.
you, Sade.
Her features are more symmetrical. than
Right.
So,
Yeah.
gorgeous. And she just woke up like this. She
I
just
did
natural.
wake up like this.
Natural
I didn't do
like that.
nothing.
I woke up like
I
this.
don't be rocking makeup. I have yesterday's makeup on.
What's your favorite thing to eat?
Yes.
Korean food.
Yeah, that's your number one
Korean food. Homemade
genre.
Korean food.
Homemade.
What's your favorite dish? Korean dish.
Spicy chicken barbecue. So Korean spicy, which I just had
Dirty
that actually.
chicken.
Huh?
Dirty
It's got to be
chicken?
clean chicken
Oh,
though.
okay.
But if you get that free range, that organic and no antibiotic chicken,
Yeah.
pay $20 a chicken breast chicken,
Yeah.
then you're all right.
Okay.
Then you're good. But yeah, spicy barbecue chicken, japchae. I don't know if you guys know what japchae is, but it's glass noodles that they make with like carrots and spinach and sesame oil, and kimchi. Like I eat so much that I realized that I went back to basics, and I'm like, this is what I like to eat.
Yeah.
Make my little bean sprouts and, pickle my little things and just have everything ready. And then when it's time to eat, I just throw on a pot, throw some rice in there, throw my meat, throw my veggies in there, cook it up, and I'm ready to go.
Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
Which is so funny because watching Squid Games, I'm like, that's how we, what the hell? It was just, Squid Games was amazing.
Oh, it was great.
Oh,
That
good
was
time.
so good.
I was all in.
You know what those games are?
No.
all those games are the games that we would play at
Oh
recess.
yeah.
Those are recess
Yeah,
games.
and they just did
The most with it.
right.
Right.
Did you see? Did I send you that? Did I send you the ending trailers or like like where it showed the behind the scene of the Squid Games? Did I
Oh,
send?
you did that.
Oh no,
Did-
send that.
If not, I'm gonna have to look it up and send that. I thought I sent that to you, but I wasn't
You may
sure.
have.
It was where they broke down
Mm-hmm.
everything that was going on being recorded. So like what you see in
Yeah.
the green screen, so you could see what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then if you look later to see what it actually looks like on the screen, you're like, oh my god.
Oh, you
they
did send
that
it.
up.
Yep, you sent that. November 11th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to. So when you get a chance,
Yeah.
watch that because they show the the glass, when
The
they were
glass
walking
the
on
glass part, yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah. You know what made that so though one of the things was that it's funny how quickly you got attached to certain characters that you just met. Mm-hmm. Like during the game, you were like, man, I hope this guy right here makes it. And then you'd be like, oh man, then when they don't, you be like, man, this was my guy. Like, like the glass, spoiler alert, the glass guy that was a glass maker. And
the one that was saving everybody.
He was like, nah,
He was
man,
like,
this one right here. And I was like, man, this is my guy right here. I just met him.
Right.
boom.
They did really good
Yeah,
at
and I was
that.
just like,
You instantly you're like, wow, I love this person.
that's great writing.
That's amazing writing.
Because we've all seen slasher flicks where it's just somebody's been in the movie the whole time, then they get killed. We be like, Jason's gonna be Jason. But in this, it's like, man, that was my dude.
And for me, I was attached to the old man.
Oh,
you know?
the old man was. How could you not be?
I was so attached to that
Right.
old man that when he started losing his mind, I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh man.
he going through right now.
Mhm.
And then I realized later, I'm like, see,
Spoiler alert.
This is what old people do all the time.
Yeah.
They pull that dementia card, is what it is. They lie. They
You
don't got
know
no
what's
dementia.
going on.
They know.
Because who's gonna test you?
They
You be
test
like,
everybody.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, dementia. Like I got attached to the Indian guy.
Oh,
that
the
was
Indian
rough.
guy that spoke Korean. The Indian guy that
man.
spoke
I was
straight
like, come on,
Korean.
man, this my
When they,
guy.
he
when they
was
teamed
great.
them up and you're like, someone's got to go.
Yeah. I was just like, no.
Oh my God, the guy. Then the one that was supposed to be the valedictorian,
Yeah,
Right.
the town hero, right?
Yeah.
Dirty son of a
Dirty
bitch.
bastard, man.
Right?
And his mom was so proud of him.
And the mom
Yeah.
asking, "Have you seen?" And he just that look
She's
on his
so
face,
sweet,
like,
like-
gave him. Didn't she give him groceries and stuff?
He dropped that kid off and left her with some money.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
end with
Yeah.
his orange hair.
I didn't like the orange hair. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, what was the point of the hair?
Do you want to laugh though?
Yeah.
You know the real mean Korean guy, the
Yes,
one
the
that
thug.
went there,
Oh, yeah.
the thug.
Thug, yeah.
You know who he remind me of?
Who?
I was like, if Willie Barcena was Korean.
Shout out to Willie Barcena.
Love you, Papa. Love you,
Yo,
Willie.
how's he doing?
He's amazing.
Yeah.
I love Willie. Willie is one of my best friends.
Mm.
And
I haven't seen him in so long. I haven't
Oh,
seen him in a long time.
you guys gotta do something together because
Yeah.
he is, he back, baby. Willie Barcena's
No,
back.
he back out here.
He back. He his mom passed away.
Okay.
And he has a lot of trauma that he's very open about his mom. And I have to tell you that ever since she passed away, he's changed for the better.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's like that monster under the bed is
Yeah.
gone, and he
Okay.
don't drink like he used.
Okay.
You know the
Yeah.
stories,
Right. Okay.
He's just like he said that he feels like he can finally live.
Yeah.
Like and and that goes to show like the toxicity of some parents
yeah.
that just she was real mean to him. Like she lived in the in the back house, big house, like
Right.
a mansion house, right?
Yeah.
She lived like a princess, queen. And she would walk through the front house and just not even say nothing to him, just ignore him. And I can't imagine how that must feel for a
Right.
person, to have to go through that. And he don't talk about that stuff, Oh, he talks about it in comedy, but
Right.
he doesn't use it as a crutch of this is why I am the way he just was the way he was.
Right.
And now he's completely changed. So it's so beautiful to see this new Willie. Like it just
Right.
and I love that man. Love
Yeah.
the man to death.
Man.
Yeah, he cool.
That's good,
Yeah.
man.
Good to
Because
hear.
you always want to see people come out on the other side of whatever they're dealing with, and they come out on the other side like for the better.
Oh.
You're just like, man, good for you.
You know, and it gets better. He just reunited with Felipe Esparza
Oh, he
after
did?
15 years of
Wow.
not talking. He just went on, Felipe had him on the What's Up Food podcast.
Okay.
You need to see this podcast.
I gotta check
'cause
that out.
He broke down
Yeah.
all the myths, all the stories that you heard about him.
Right.
Were fabricated lies.
Really?
You have to.
I gotta check that out.
It's like, wow.
I love Felipe too,
Yeah,
man.
Felipe is hilarious. He's great.
He's dope.
He's great. Yeah.
I got some
Super.
questions.
Oh, man,
Oh, yeah.
cue it up, man.
Nana P asks, question for both Tony and Tanya. How do you try to bring a room back up after someone bombs as a host? Have you ever clowned the bomber?
Ooh.
Well, every situation's different, you know? Like usually after like someone's bombed, you know, it's been usually the first two comics and I come up and I'll say like, all right, everybody, well, that's been the amateur portion of the show. Now on to,
Yeah.
you know, and
'Cause you
that
gotta
brings
address
up,
the- yeah.
you have to address it. You can't ignore what just happened. You
Right.
have to pull something, one or two things out to try to get them back on your side. Because
Right.
when you come up after those two, they're gonna be like, oh, he probably sucks too.
Man.
And you wanna, you know, just let them know that, hey, I think that's the best way. What if
It's the elephant in the room. It's like, all right, they just bombed horribly. And we talking like, a horrible bomb. Not just a mediocre set. We just talking about, damn, they done killed the room. It's quiet now. You have to address it head on.
People leaving.
Man, people just like, man, it's just, because we all know what just transpired. So it's like, because sometimes when you try to barrel through and ignore it, people are still thinking like, man, they're not going to address what just happened.
Yeah.
It's weird in here, man. I don't know.
The
But,
air's
so they thinking there's so many different things, but when you come up there and address it head on, it usually helps the flow of the rest of the show. And especially if you get multiple back-to-backs,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, man, this show is about to be ass cheeks.
See, that's why I ask now. I ask now when they say, hey, you want to do a date, da-da-da, and I say, who's on the show?
Right.
And then when they go to, I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, now,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Right.
You can have that for somebody else. I'm being serious because there's nothing worse than going out and doing comedy with a bunch of people that just
Right.
are not doing comedy. And I'm not saying I'm the best fucking comedian in the world, but goddamn, I can make people laugh.
Right.
And the last thing I want to be is, oh man, you killed it.
Yeah.
I wish I could say for the rest of the six of y'all.
You want a
know what I mean?
whole- you want a whole dope
everybody
show.
to win.
Right.
You want everybody to win. You want everybody that's been on
Yeah.
that same level. But if there's three names I don't recognize on that list,
Yeah.
I'm good.
You like,
know,
nah.
for a few reasons. One, they're not really paying us what we should be getting paid to
Right.
get up and go out to go do a show.
Right.
Right. Two, we have so many other things that we have to get done in what we're doing. Like, Mary, you were talking about auditions.
Yeah.
God damn, I
Oh.
hate when they call.
stand
Even though
audition.
you've been waiting for them to call, and then they call.
Can you turn this in tomorrow?
Can you turn this in
Yep.
tonight? Like, okay, so I'm gonna stop everything that I
Right.
got one right before I'm putting on my eyelashes coming to see you,
And
right? I'm
then-
like, can you go ahead and accept this? I'm like,
Man. Because
It's
now
just
we're in the send in phase. We're
Yeah.
not doing traditional auditions anymore. We're not really going in. So it's like,
yeah,
send it in.
send it
You
in,
got till noon
and you gotta set it all up.
Pacific time.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you got to set up your little situation. You got to learn the lines, for one.
get in the character.
Get in the
right?
character.
Get the lighting right.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the background. It's a whole thing, and it's
Yep.
just so all of these things. And two, I want to just do my own content. I want to do my creativity. My
Right.
thing is that I want to be, or I consider myself the Latina female Weird Al Yankovic. That's what I
Okay.
do with my music. I
Yeah.
like taking songs and turning them into funny songs. And I was getting going, and then COVID hit, and I just been like, damn. You know, right when it was getting good.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I don't want to just turn in crap. You know what I mean? Because this is something people are going to watch over and
Right.
over and over. So it's like you need all your infinite attention on it. And stopping to go do a comedy show. You know
Right.
what I mean? Midweek. It's just like
7 o'clock out here,
my
the
God.
blah blah blah.
At 7 o'clock at Upland, right?
Yeah.
Coming from San Fernando.
Upland.
Right, coming from
Yeah.
San Fernando Valley, it's just like, okay, I'm good. So I'm
Right.
learning how to try and time manage and be like, I can't say yes to everything. I just kind of gotta be like, okay,
Yeah.
and try to make it more peaceful that way.
Yeah.
But
Cause shoot, are you back on what you were doing with the musical comedy? You came
yeah.
back? Okay.
Oh no, yeah. And so
Good.
now I'm so what I do is I'm always learning. Like I feel like I got a lot of tools in the shed, so I constantly got to sharpen the tools.
Right.
So I go and I rent a karaoke room and I go practice my voice.
Yeah.
So that way I don't sound like, a song that'll be viral and be remembered for sounding like crap.
Right.
I want it to at least sound somewhat decent.
Yeah.
Like when people play it over, it's like, well, at least she's not tone deaf.
Right.
So I go and I'll practice karaoke. I'll go practice dance. I'll go take shuffle dancing classes. I'll learn different types of dancing. I've danced for years, but it's like I want to make a badass music video where I have dancers in it, where it makes it look like super legit.
It looked like
but it's
a
fun.
straight up serious video, but you got
yeah.
the jokes all throughout that
throughout the song.
Like you said, Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Yeah.
So that's so right now it's like I'm trying to like shave everything off to just concentrate more on that part.
Okay.
That and my cooking show.
Oh, you cooking show?
My cooking show.
Oh man.
I got a little. I was having a hard time doing a kitchen studio. I had a studio, and it was just going to be this whole thing. They're like, you're going to have to knock down the ceiling so you can hang the mics from the top. I'm just like, we're not going to do that. So
Right.
I was like, I'm going to do this in my house. And
Okay.
I've just been setting up. I even have a sign, like the sign made,
Yeah.
like the walls, like just doing everything so it looks really cute and it has a whole theme going to it.
Yeah.
But it's very reminiscent of, remember Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Yes.
So my kitchen is very my own Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going with. And I've
Yeah.
been working on that for the past few months
Oh,
to
hell
get it
yeah.
all set up where it looks pro,
Yes.
where it doesn't look like shit. Like at the end, it'll be something to look at.
Yes. I'll
I
be telling Sabrina, I'll be like, yo, man, you should do a cooking show. She'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's the only thing that's hard is the editing, and then I'm trying to figure out a way
You
to
hire
shoot.
an editor.
You gotta hire
I'll
an
pay
editor.
for the editing.
Oh shit! He cut off my sentence. I
'Cause
was
I
just
really-
gonna say, you got hire editor money.
Because
but
I really feel like I tell her this all the time, and I talk to Ida, Sasha, you know, what you guys bring to the table is like voices that need to be seen and heard. Like the multi-ethnic background, the visual, the way y'all talk. I feel like there's a huge lane for that in comedy, cooking, whatever. And I'm just like, yo, y'all got to be, put up. Because everything has been whitewashed so much that, and there are so many people that look like you, that look like her, that, mixed cultural backgrounds, all of this and that. And it's just a lane for it. And there's people that'll watch it, will buy the content, will tune in, whether it's on network TV or even YouTube. YouTube is just an easy way in.
right.
Because you're going to get the following, you're going to get the be like, oh, she looks like me. She reminds me of this. She reminds me of that. I love her. And because if you look at the Food Network, it's
my
mostly
God.
white women.
It's all white
Yeah.
women.
So it's just like
And then when there is anyone black, they try to like stick them in that like
soul food. That's
It's
his
like,
soul
hey,
food.
Man. No, Sunshine, she did mostly soul food too. Yeah, there's not really a lot of like Caribbean representation, and yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, y'all would make a killing in that lane. So it's just like, yes, because the world is hungry for that.
Well, we can make, I don't know if have you seen Dominican Soul Food, the Instagram? There's an Instagram, they're called Dominican Soul Food. And it's a wife and husband that teamed up. I think she's Dominican and he's Colombian or something. And they fusion the food. The food is amazing.
That's what
And they fusion it. They use all the Goya, all the
Yeah.
seasonings. Like that, that one dish that you guys have, and it's like that thick sauce on it. I don't know what it's called, but it's like it has a good spice to it. It's red.
Wait, Dominican?
It's Dominican.
It's not sancocho. It's not thick sauce. Let me see.
Thick sauce, Dominican soul food. But so there's fusions of this food together. Like, for instance, like Colombian food. Like, they could make empanadas, but then you could also make the side potatoes and this Dominican stuff. And it's like,
so hungry.
And that's what I'm into. Are you looking? And that's what I'm into. Like, I'm into finding amazing ingredients all over, like wherever I go. Like I always bring something back. Like I just went. Another thing I wanted to do, which I did, is I went to go film my fine dining food show, which is what I wanted to do because I feel like all these influencers, you know what I mean? They got all the street tacos.
Right.
Everybody knows where all the street tacos at, but nobody knows where all the fine dining experiences are and what's in there.
Right.
So I hit up a few places in Mexico, in Cancun, Mexico City, Roma, and I even hit an exotic food market, which was weird. We won't talk about if there's vegans here because it's very like vegans. It was just very. You can't film in there.
Oh wow. Okay.
That was very. But I ate. I hope this is okay to say.
Where's
but
the address? Send it to all the vegans.
No, I ate lion.
Oh.
You lying.
I swear. I ate lion. I ate zebra. And I ate I know, right? I feel the shape.
Right.
And
from
I
both
ate
sides.
and I ate snake.
Well, snake's
snake's
fine.
How did the lion taste?
Tough.
Of course it was tough. It ain't supposed to be eaten.
Total dad joke right there.
They at the top of the food chain. Of course it's tough.
Yeah.
No, but it was like tough. It was like you can tell that lion did not die a good death. And I only ate it for the filming, and so I can say I ate it. You know, I'm a Leo. I'm a lion.
Oh, okay. So you wanted to get the essence of your astrological
of me,
being.
right? And the funny thing about eating that food, which was so weird, I wasn't hungry for like 2 days.
Oh wow!
And I was like, why was that I was not hungry for?
Because big cats eat like that. They eat and then they don't eat again for days.
Probably the protein it just sit in your body.
Yeah.
And I think
That's how they roll.
And I hadn't eaten meat because I don't eat that much meat.
Yeah.
I generally try to keep a somewhat vegetable-y diet.
Yeah.
But when I cook lunch or something, like I'll have meat. In this instance, it was like I want to try something different.
Yeah.
He was giving us a damn good price. It was like a whole plate of all that stuff for like $30.
Really?
With 2 cups of wine.
I was considering what you were eating. I thought that meal would have been like $300.
Yeah.
Especially for lion.
Yeah, for lion. Yeah. So and it was and also too they had tarantulas on a stick. Right?
Did it taste like
Hell
shrimp?
no.
You didn't
I'm
taste
not,
it?
No.
No. You gonna eat the lion, but you're not gonna taste the tarantula?
No, because they said that if you ate the tarantula, that the hairs, if they break off in your mouth and your tongue, they get stuck in there. Your tongue will get swollen.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm good. And then the scorpions I couldn't eat. I was like, I'm good. And they're like, we have it dipped in chocolate. I was like,
they tried to sweeten it up.
Yeah, try to sweeten the deal. What else did I have? I had worm mezcal, like which is like mezcal with like worms. But the worms make it taste real smoky.
Oh wow!
But I wasn't gonna eat the worm. I was like, I'm good.
If I had to eat like a bug, worm would be the first choice. Let me get the worm.
They have worm lollipops.
Yeah, I could do.
They did.
I feel like I could do a worm at the very least. Yeah.
But so I ate it. I didn't feel guilty. I know that they have a license for wherever they're getting this lime from, you know. But would it be something that I would eat again? No.
Yeah.
I had it once, and there was really no need like for me to keep like, well, I'm gonna get some more lime, you know. Next week I'm gonna. But you know who I'll eat the fuck out of is an alligator.
Oh, like you like that?
Have you had alligator?
I tasted it before.
It's like good chicken.
It was like. I had an alligator in Morro Bay, California. It was at this sushi spot, and they had it, and I tasted it.
That don't sound like you want Morro Bay, up
the 101.
Yeah, you want to eat alligator out of New Orleans.
Yeah, you question where they're getting their
you don't want to
alligator
eat
out here.
Yeah, you don't. If you got alligator out here, he traveled in a frozen death. You don't want that. Yeah. You want the alligator that they like. You know what I mean? Got him off their ankle. You know what I mean? And drug him in. You want that fresh alligator. That is the most juiciest, delicious meat I've ever tasted.
One I had was tough.
Huh?
It was tough.
Probably because it's frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, ew.
You've had alligator?
I've not, no.
No?
I would try it, though.
Oh, it's bomb. It's bomb. Yeah. I mean, I know vegans are like, and of course, the animals and this and that. But dude, if it's between you and the alligator, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that's
rarely
rare,
ever between you and an alligator.
That's rare.
Like right now, we're in this room. I have yet to make that decision.
Yeah. Well, in
that's
California,
super rare. You know what I'm saying?
But when that's true. When you're in their swamp waters.
Yeah.
Or actually, sometimes they come and chase you out of New Orleans because you know what happened, how everything got flooded.
Oh yeah, and I was reading recently. I was watching the YouTube video, and New Orleans and like Louisiana, it's always slowly sinking pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like the water is keep coming. It's just
sinking.
coming.
It's already below sea level.
Yeah,
it's just going to continue.
It's just going to continue doing that. So it's going to be a lot more.
Yeah, most of Florida and that south will be underwater.
So we filmed a movie, Cholo Zombies Monstro. And this was in March. They flew me out to New Orleans, and the filming day was at Six Flags.
Oh,
the Six Flags that went underwater.
Was it Six Flags that went underwater?
Six Flags Jazzlands, I think is what it's called.
Oh,
Six Flags Jazzlands went underwater during Katrina, right?
Oh wow, okay.
So they never opened it back up.
So it's just sitting there.
It was just sitting there.
Ooh.
And it's been sitting there, and it's been closed this whole time, and they only rent it out for filmings.
Really? Because I bet it looks creepy over there.
Oh, I bet.
It was
like Left 4 Dead.
It was like a clown. It was like the clown end scene. You know what I mean? You're running from the clowns kind of thing.
No, yeah.
And so when we went in, so security's in there. And the reason security's in there is because the alligators will chase you.
I was going to say, they're probably infested with animals.
It's infested with, there's alligators everywhere in the swamps, under the roller coaster. And
dope.
Yeah, it was so dope. So when I wasn't filming, I wanted to do BTS, behind the scenes. Yeah. Because you couldn't film unless you had a camera. So I was like, I want to film. Yeah. So I want to see all this footage.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to go take a walk over by the roller coaster, right?
Oh.
I'm walking, and all of a sudden you hear, ma'am, no. And they're running after me, and sure enough, here it comes.
Oh.
And I start booking it. I'm running. We're all running out of there. And they're like, oh, my God, don't ever go over there by yourself. They're full alligators. And the other guy was like, he goes, last week, he ran into his car, and the alligator was just hitting the bottom of his car. Like, they're huge.
Yo. Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And one scene
I'm all in.
One scene was the main character was fighting this monster off.
Yeah.
So it was the shot. He was going to land in this swamp. And nothing has been in that swamp since the hurricane. So one of the other actors was smart. He went over to the other side of the bridge and got the attention of the alligator because they had a drone so they could see it.
Okay.
They could see it. They're like, it's so, and he's like, we got it over here, and they're like, all right, action. And so then he did the whole thing, landed, got the shot, jumped out, and got out.
That's crazy.
That's insane. We gotta go.
Alligators.
Yeah, I love alligators.
Do you?
I think
we
they're
went
adorable.
to
Yes.
We went to an alligator spot in Florida. A friend of ours, Robbie.
Shout out to Robbie, man. Get swamped on Instagram.
He has a whole. What do you call that?
He has acres of
like a reserve.
Yes.
Yeah, and he lives there, but it's his house.
He lives there, but it's his crib. He's got alligators all up, and he got a crocodile that comes when you call him.
That's crazy.
He has snakes. He's got other animals on there. It's great.
And they don't attack them.
No.
Nah.
Okay,
we were up close and personal.
I fed the gator.
Yeah.
Everything. I was like,
and they were just around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were close. We were standing like And
as if like imagine you go to a house like the cat lady's house and there's a bunch of cats around. It was literally like that.
He's got a bunch. I'm just like, he had baby ones. So I remember baby one kind of bit me. I was like, oh snap.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah. I was like, yo,
but they are cute though.
To me,
they're adorable.
They're adorable
with their little
because
arms.
their little arms and like even Godzilla is just adorable to me.
He's
just a little face and his little arms and you ever look at their hands?
Yeah,
they're all little.
Right, and that's why he's so mad because he's like, I'm just trying to be like scary out here, but he's like, oh, you mad cute, yo.
The way he's built, it's like Godzilla's stomach be coming out. And
right,
like,
he's got a baby belly.
Yeah, he does.
He has toddler belly.
But he'll destroy the whole city. But you know, he's adorable. But that's dope. Is that movie released?
Right now it's doing the festivals.
Okay.
So we just won Best Horror Movie.
Oh, snap.
Remind
us. Let us know when
it comes out.
Yeah, that's right up my alley.
It's funny. Yeah, it's the writer is amazing. Yeah. Like the writing in it was hysterical. So it's a funny horror movie, which
nice.
I'm on. When it's something funny, when it's a funny role, I'm in all the way.
Right.
But if it's a drama,
you don't like dramas? You don't want to do the drama?
Tony's all in with drama.
There's so many other actors that can do drama and do that. I want to be in a happy space.
Okay.
And drama is not,
Because you going to feel, you going to feel it.
I've done those movies.
Yeah.
They're tough.
They drain you?
They drain you.
Yeah.
You go into...
What's the name of the movie everyone's asking?
Cholo Zombies Monstro. Monstro.
Yeah,
M-O-N-S-T-R.
Just 3 different words.
Cholo Zombies Monstro. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's funny.
What's your favorite drama of all time?
Favorite drama? Oh, my favorite, it would have to be Pablo Escobar, El Patrón del Mal, which would be the Narcos Pablo Escobar on Telemundo. Okay. Which was the 360 episode miniseries.
Really? And it was all Pablo?
It was like 160 something episodes. Wow. I think it is 1 hour episodes.
Did it finally end in his death?
Yeah, it always ends at his death. Yeah, but it's the way that they shot it, and it's the way that they made everything look so authentic, like down to the license plates in Colombia from that time.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Down to the guy who played Pablo Escobar. Andres Parra looks way more Pablo Escobar than the one from the Narcos.
Really?
Wait till you see
Is that on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, and now you can get it subtitled.
Oh, well then
you're in because
I'm all in.
Because when I watched it, it was you had to watch it on the TV in Spanish, no subtitles. You just had to know Spanish.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. You're gonna love it.
Oh, sign me up.
Because they get so detailed with it.
Is it gritty? Hell yeah. Sign me up, man.
Much grittier than the other one. You got crying, you got sadness, you got everything.
Sign
you got
me
the drama.
Because Pablo did some shit, man.
The way he talks, the way they talk is way more Colombian. You'll hear. That's why Colombians sound.
I'm queuing that up then.
Yeah, Pablo Escobar, El Patrón del Mal.
What's your favorite album?
My favorite album.
Give me five of your favorite albums. Yeah. Any genre.
This is fun.
And I want your favorite hip hop album too.
Okay.
For sure.
My favorite album, Marilyn Manson, Antichrist Superstar. Luna Chicks, Luxury Problem. NWA, Evil for Zagan, because I got it at Kmart. So backwards.
It was backwards, yeah.
It was
You
backwards.
had to hold it up to the mirror to see what it really said.
Yeah.
Niggas for life. But yeah, keep going.
Menudo, the first album, which was Ricky Martin.
Okay.
And a fifth album.
Yeah.
I would have to say this last Marilyn Manson album, the We Are Chaos.
Okay.
Man, that is a whole bowl full of fuck y'all. Like that. Oh, man.
Fuck your couch.
Fuck your couch. That whole album is just so good. Like
whenever I think of Marilyn Manson, I always visualize the Mechanical Animals album cover. As always,
the titties, the white and the titties, the dope show. The boobies, and he was androgynous with the red hair.
Yep.
He's interesting.
I always think of that album cover when Marilyn Manson said, it'd be like the album cover.
I had to work for him a few times. The last time I worked for him, it was him. It was Marilyn Manson, Smashing Pumpkins, and Cage. And his before he gets on stage thing is like he'll put on like the hardest raps. I think what did he put on?
Oh, Manson.
Yeah, he put. I forgot what he put on some song, and he was out. And like I just finished like setting up his dressing room, so I had to get out. He went in there. He was probably in there for like a little bit. Comes out really normal, like not. He's not Marilyn Manson.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's very normal.
Right.
But he's listening to who was it? Who did fuck Donald Trump?
Oh, YG.
YG. So he's listening to YG.
Mm-hmm.
Blasting YG outside of his dressing room and just jumping up and down. And he's singing all the words top of his lung. I was like, "That's how you prepare for this?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "All right." And then he goes back in, and then he gets into full Marilyn Manson gear.
Yeah.
And then he comes back out, and then he's Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And then he gets on stage. And I
Wow.
was just like, "Oh, so this was."
He had to get in his zone.
Yeah,
real
it was
quick.
funny. Yeah, I was just like, "This is interesting to watch."
Yeah, because that song is it's a lot of energy in "Fuck Donald Trump."
No, it wasn't fuck Donald Trump.
It wasn't?
It was a different YG's. What was the other?
Oh, he was listening to YG.
He was just listening to I couldn't
Got
think
you.
of YG's name. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't think of his name at the moment. But yeah, and I was just like, this is really interesting. And then Smashing Pumpkins is the complete opposite. Like Billy Corgan, he was just chilling in between. Like he wasn't in his dressing room. He was roaming around. This was back when I used to set up dressing rooms, and I used to go on tours with a whole bunch of people. I did that for like 9 years. And Billy Corgan's mad cool. And I remember he was like, "Oh, I'm Billy." I'm like, "No shit." But I still introduced myself, shook hands, and we were chopping it up, and then this dude comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Yo, my girl's super excited to meet you," like, and she goes to like shake his hand, and he's like, "I don't shake hands." And I looked at my hand, and I was like,
Oh.
"Yes, you do." He's like, "I'm sorry, it's just a germ thing," and I was like, "He's got my germs on his hand." As he says this, I was mad hype.
You made an impression.
That was a fun.
He
It was
got
a
your
fun
germs.
tour because those two together were like, it was a
Yeah.
complete opposite. And Marilyn is just not what you expect. I didn't expect him to be so hood.
Yeah.
Not hood, but
and
like
he's normal. He's very normal.
very hood,
Normally
very hood.
good. The debut album.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like hysterical.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't think he's that funny, but he's like very smart. Funny.
What's your favorite comedy all time?
My favorite comedy, like show?
We'll do movie.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber and
Okay.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure
Oh.
are right there at the top.
Good
Those
choices.
two.
I love
Right
Pee-wee's
there.
Big Adventure.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I
is
love that
great.
movie.
So good.
Who,
The
you know-
Alamo.
You know, it was Large Marge's birthday the other day. They were
Really?
posting Large Marge.
Really?
Pee-wee, actually, because I follow him on Instagram, and he posted the Large Marge little memorial from the movie that they
Aw.
had sitting there. It's like,
I finally got to hit those dinosaurs, the Capizon
oh,
dinosaurs.
yeah, where are
remember?
those?
So those are over off the 10,
Mm.
coming back from like Palm Springs, Capizon.
Okay.
It's on the right hand side. You'll see them right there.
And they're
You just
still
get
there?
out. They still there. But
Can you
those-
go in there?
You can go in there. You can go in there. Remember how?
Yep.
What was her name? What was her name? The French girl. Simone? Was it not Simone? What
Oh,
was
I
her
can't
name?
remember.
What was the name of the French chick?
She worked at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then she went in, and then her boyfriend came mad jealous.
Yeah.
Is this Simone?
Was it Simone?
Wait, hold
Was
on.
the French girl on Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Pee-wee's Big
Au
Adventure.
revoir. And
Yeah.
then there was Dottie. Remember?
Dottie.
That-
He was so mean
Dot-
to
Yeah, it
Dottie.
was Simone.
It was
Dottie
Simone.
Simone. Dottie was so cute, man.
Wasn't
He was
she?
just
Adorable.
so mean to her.
Dottie, I'm a loner.
A rebel. He was playing her left and
What?
right. I was like, man.
Because she had the bike hookup.
Yeah.
That's why.
She was like, what's up, Pee-wee? When we going, kick it. You go to the drive-in. She really wanted to go to the drive-in with Pee-wee. He was playing
just
her,
like-
man. We got to get the hell out of here.
Yes.
I'm going to have you back, though.
Right
Because
on.
you got an interesting whole setup.
Yeah. Do you have
Thank
any
you.
haunted stories? Not to tell right now, but just do you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
girl.
See,
yeah,
we
yeah.
got to have
We
a
gotta
back for
bring
sure.
back It's Haunted Out Here and just bring people on and just talk about
It's
their
haunted.
stories.
Oh,
Yeah.
'Cause
I
it's
like
haunted
that.
out here.
I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe all kinds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You
gotta
seen, real quick, you seen a ghost before?
I feel stuff.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know. And have I seen stuff? I don't know if I've seen it as much as I felt it.
Okay.
But I know that I know what I feel, and it's a trip.
Feelings count for something.
And that's why I stay away from a lot of people. I'm a loner, Dottie. A
rebel.
But I do keep to myself a lot because you wouldn't know it, but a lot of people are possessed by bad negative energy. Like, you ever been around people that just carry just all kinds of shit happen to them all the time, and it's just like, you can't have that kind of bad luck, but they just lug it around. And if you let them in around you, that's gonna just trickle out. So I'm just like, I'm cool. You know, I'm by myself. Like
100%.
I'm looking forward right now to go to the grocery store and go home. Like, you know,
100%.
Just
especially in comedy.
Oh, they are tortured souls, aren't they?
Man,
that happens. Tough. That happens to a lot of comedians, and I figured it out. It's the comedians that sit in the bag of they just gonna be a comedian and do nothing else.
Right.
And that feeling of stifling yourself creatively, and not being well rounded like we should be.
Right.
Like, I think it's what kills them. Because they're just like, and it's like no one will tell them your jokes suck.
Right. Because they're just sitting in comedy, and then you know how it is. Anything can happen when we do a show. It could be a good one. It could be a bad one. It could be mediocre. So if you're just sitting in the energy of your last show, what if you just get a whole bunch of bad shows? You're just sitting in that energy with nothing else to draw on.
That's horrible.
And you're just going to be negative and like, you know, you're just going to be sitting rather than just living a regular life outside of the stage.
Showing up to the comedy store, trying to get on the belly room open mic.
Sitting there like just bitter. You can feel it. You can be like, man, look out, man. But absolutely.
Yeah, you got to stay away from people.
Yeah, we're going to have you back, though.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
We didn't really, we an hour and 40 deep in here. And we ain't even touched the surface of your life and whatnot. But thank you.
Thank you. Can I give a plug real quick?
Yeah, of course.
My band. You guys, please go over to Spotify or SoundCloud and check out Slaughter. Slautter is the name of my band, and the lead singer is Martin Moreno. Remember Martin?
Yes.
So he's the lead singer of the band.
From Gabriel's crew?
Yeah, Gabriel's crew.
Yeah.
Martin is he's the lead singer. And then James Callahan at Universal Smoothness, he's the bass player, and he's also Felipe Esparza's podcast engineer.
Wow.
So it's a whole little. So please follow us at Slaughter Before Slaughter, and check out the music. Check out the songs. They're funny songs.
Yeah.
If you guys want to check out Casey Anthony, that's a funny 15-minute song. 15-second song, I'm sorry.
15 seconds, okay.
Yeah, Casey Anthony. Then we have Beer Belly Jesus, and my personal favorite, Woman of Ill Repute. And that's all me playing guitar right there.
Wow.
So you gotta check that out. Gotta check
Pull
that out.
up on that, man. Yeah. Women guitarists, man.
Yeah, it might not be your cup of tea, but listen to it musically. We actually got engineered by Abbey Road, and we are considered the new age Beatles right now.
Really?
So that's what
y'all
everybody's
gonna walk
talking
across
about.
The street?
We're gonna walk across the street. Like
that. I love that album cover.
But thank you for having me.
Of course.
It's so good to see you.
Thanks for coming.
No problem. Thanks you, Sabrina.
Yes,
thank you.
Course.
And we got to get together and cook some stuff. Girl.
Yeah.
Get some stuff.
I'll be there to eat it. I'll be there to eat
Perfect.
it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to another session of that verbal cardio.